What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast. So, it is being reported by the Denver Broncos that they will be moving on from veteran guard Ron Leary. Now, you guys remember Ron Leary, formerly of the Dallas Cowboys, when we were really known as the best offensive line in football. Ron Leary was our guard, but we ended up losing him in 2017 to free agency. He was definitely a Pro Bowler and All Pro in 2016, but he didn't get obviously the awards and accolades to prove those things. But Denver Broncos saw his film and definitely paid him like he was one of the top guards in the NFL. Now, while he was at Denver, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Ron Leary was kind of put in a position where they were kind of like playing hero ball. And hero ball is basically when they drop one really good guy amongst a bunch of just nobodies. And you're seeing that also happen in New York with Will Hernandez. Will Hernandez is a really good guard, but one thing about that offensive line is you need more than just one really good player on that line. And what happens is if you don't have more than like two or three really good guys on that offensive line, that one guy will start deteriorating. And not only will he start deteriorating, he's going to start getting injured and his play is going to start lacking. So I think you see a lot of that in his play when he was in Denver, because they basically dropped Ron Leary in there as the savior. Now, last year, he only played 12 and a half games, but even in 12 and a half games, man, he only gave up 1 sack and had 8 total penalties. So that's 9 total plays. Now, on average, an offense plays about 60 plays a game. 60 times 12, that's about 130 plays. You divide that by 9 negative plays, man, that's less than 1% of his plays were negative. So, Ron Leary for the Dallas Cowboys, I think, would be an instant improvement over Connor Williams and Xavier Sulafule. And the nice thing about it is you got to think you're dropping Ron Leary back in an offensive line where he thrived and played his absolutely best. You're putting him right beside Tyron Smith. I think you put him right beside Tyron Smith, and you're putting him right beside Travis Frederick. Now, imagine this. Imagine how a decent guard, a better than average guard play was going to help Tyron Smith. Imagine how that would also help Travis Fredericks, not having to depend on that guard and understanding that, they have a guard there that's going to be able to win on their assignments and not having to help each time. And what you see that a lot with the Dallas Cowboy offensive line now. But to be honest with you, man, I think it absolutely makes sense. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the money, because I keep saying it makes sense, but does it make monetary sense? Monetary sense, it makes sense because the Broncos, when they turned down Ron Leary's option, it was only for $1.8 million. Now, think of this. Jason Witten made $2 million last year. So, you're telling me that you could probably get a Ron Leary and drop him on this offensive line, and you're going to get him for about $2.5 million, $2 million. That is such a no-brainer. I think you drop Ron Leary on this offensive line. I think it solidifies this offensive line, and I definitely believe it brings back the real moniker of the Dallas Cowboys having the best offensive line in football. And I think it's the cheapest fix in football. You guys already know what it is. Never look down because the star's up.